Hi, my name is Molly. I am a 47-year-old disabled single mom of a 5-year-old, and I'm asking for help. Um, Seems to be all I do lately. Being on a fixed income means that we exist. I don't have a savings. I don't have a backup. I have no local family or friends or anyone to help if there's an emergency, which there recently was. My 5-year-old and I just spent 3 months in a hotel because a tree in my backyard decided to drop a limb on my house. The limb that it dropped was as big as a whole tree. It went through my roof, through my attic, busted rafters, through my carport, and busted the ceiling down. Thankfully, my homeowner's insurance covered that. It ended up being $30,000 worth of damage. But I had a tree company. I've had a couple tree companies come out and give me an estimate on trimming or removing this tree. But I had an actual arborist, come out last week and look at it. It's going to cost $6,970 to take down this tree. And it needs to come down as soon as possible because it's in really bad shape. He said that with just a visual inspection, he didn't do any drilling or boring or anything like that. Just a visual inspection. This tree is at moderate to high risk for catastrophic failure, which means the entire tree is going to split and fall. One limb from this tree cost $30,000 worth of damage on my house. I got really lucky and it rolled to the side as it fell, so it just took out the corner of my house. If the tree falls, my entire house is gone. And if my child and I are in the house when it happens, well, insurance will not cover it, even though the tree has already caused massive damage and an arborist has confirmed that it is, there's no question it's going to fall. They still consider it preventative, and that's not covered under my homeowner's policy. So I'm asking for help. This tree is one of the reasons I bought this house, because it is huge and it is beautiful and it shades my entire backyard. Yes, it just keeps going and going and going. This is the limb that broke off. This limb, laying down, was as tall almost as my 5-year-old child, who is 47 inches. So just the limb was almost 4 foot around, 4 foot tall. This one is going to go next, pretty much, which is going to take out the rest. This is the limb that fell crushed the whole corner of my house. It was big enough that it went over the whole top of my house, through the roof. This section over here was a big, beautiful, healthy bush, tree. It took out most of that, my neighbor's fence. There's holes all throughout this tree. He said there's multiple areas that are riddled with a bacterial infection. It has apparently been struck by lightning multiple times, so there are several seams in it, which means when it goes, it's going to crack at one of these spots. Here's one. You've got another hole. That's where the big limb fell off. I don't even want to be out here. He said, as an arborist, my job is to save trees. That's what I do. That's my goal. But I am not comfortable standing under this tree, and I would not let your child play in this backyard. And if it were me, the tree would come down tomorrow. Here's another crack or seam where it was apparently struck by lightning. So what's most likely going to happen is it's going to split in one of these areas, and then the entire tree is going to fall. And as you can see, See, it constantly, you can see on my roof right now, there are some little branches. It's constantly breaking off. House tree. This tree is massive, like massive. He said it's one of the biggest water oaks he's ever seen. I was going to try to stand next to it so you could get a gauge inside, but I'm standing right in the sun, so that's not going to work. But so, yeah, I'm asking for help. One of the reasons I bought this house, my child and I were living in an unsafe situation. The house we were in it's huge. It's a gigantic tree. But the house we were living in wasn't safe. And it took me almost a year of searching and searching and searching. I'm on a fixed income, so I didn't have a lot of money, which meant my options were really limited. But I found this house, and it's in a good neighborhood. It was recently remodeled, so everything was in good shape. It had a backyard, which my child had never had before. This is the first place she's ever lived where she's had a yard to play in, and now she can't because it's not safe. And like I said, if the tree goes, the entire house is gone. If it falls toward my house, if it falls in any other directions, it is, that's the neighbor's house right, well, let me turn this around. Neighbor's house right there. It would probably hit her house if it fell that way. If it split at this seam and went that way, it would hit the neighbor's house. If it fell that way, it might not hit their house, but it would definitely go across the entire yard, and then all of these would fall on my house. If it comes this way, my house is done. Either way, it needs to come down, and it needs to come down as soon as possible. So please help. Anything. $7,000 is a lot of money, I will not, in the next 10 years, be able to save $7,000 living on a fixed income as a single mom. It's just, it's not in the realm of possible. So anything that you can help with, share anywhere and everywhere. My deepest gratitude, and thank you.